It is 20 degrees below freezing. You are waist deep in a black water marsh. The wind is howling off the coast, and your hands are entirely numb. The sky just broke open, and a flock of mallards is dropping into the decoys. In this exact second, you do not care about marketing hype. You do not care about what looked pretty in the catalog. You only care if the tool in your hands is going to run when you pull the trigger. Today, we are tearing apart the 5 best semi-automatic waterfowl shotguns on the market. These are the rigs built for the mud, the ice, and the heavy magnum loads. Let us see who truly owns the swamp. Starting off at number 5, we have the Winchester Super X4. If you are looking for the absolute best return on investment in the duck blind, this is your huckleberry. Tipping the scales at a lean 7.1 pounds, this gas-operated workhorse eats 3.5-inch magnum shells for breakfast. You are looking at roughly $900 to $1,100 at the register, which makes it one of the most accessible semi-automatic shotguns on the market that actually delivers under pressure. Ergonomically, Winchester built this specifically for the bitter cold. Grabbing the close radius grip with thick winter gloves feels incredibly natural, and the oversized bolt handle and release button mean you are never fumbling around in the dark. When you finally pull that trigger, the recoil hits your shoulder like a heavy, muffled thud instead of a bone-rattling crack, keeping your eyes glued to the flock for that critical follow-up shot. Under the hood, the magic really happens with their backboard technology. Instead of a standard 12-gauge internal diameter, Winchester opens the bore up from 0.729 inches to a wider 0.742 inches. That extra breathing room reduces friction as the payload travels down the barrel, which prevents your steel shot from deforming under pressure. Ultimately, that translates to putting 89% of your pellets into a 30-inch circle at 35 yards, meaning fewer lost birds and unparalleled terminal performance. Honestly, my only gripe is the exterior finish. To keep that price point down, Winchester relied heavily on hard, economical plastics, so it is not going to win any beauty contests at the hunting lodge. But that is strictly cosmetic, not a mission killer. For a working man who needs a reliable tool, the Super X4 hits way above its weight class. Now we get serious with number 4, the Rite ACE. The Turkish market has been aggressively shaking up the industry, and this inertia-driven machine proves they are not playing games. Slings 12-gauge magnums downrange with terrifying consistency, all while maintaining a balanced weight of 7.25 pounds. It sets you back $1,049 to $1,149. Giving you Italian flagship features at a working man price. Out in the marsh, the gun points naturally and tracks birds with fluid grace. When you break the trigger, it rolls over like a polished ball bearing, delivering a clean break right at 6 pounds. The recoil hits your shoulder like a firm shove from a sparring partner, mitigated heavily by the airy pad in the stock that eats about 30% of the shock. If you drop it in the mud, the push-button removable aluminum trigger group pops out instantly for field cleaning, which is a massive tactical advantage. Under the hood, the true genius lies in the Inertia Plus system. Traditional inertia guns rely entirely on the forward momentum of a heavy bolt carrier to rotate the bolt head into battery, meaning if you baby the bolt, it will not lock. Rite fixed this by integrating a heavy-duty torsion spring deep inside the bolt body. This spring actively forces the rotating bolt head to twist and lock into the barrel extension no matter how slowly you ease it forward. That means you can quietly chamber a shell in the dark without alerting the flock, and it completely eliminates the dreaded click of a dead trigger. My only gripe is the recoil pad construction. The internal air bubbles in the airy pad can compress and deform at the edges after a hard season of abuse, but that is cosmetic, not a mission killer. Entering the elite tier at number 3, we have a true giant of the marsh, the Browning Maxus II. Feeds on 12-gauge 3.5-inch shells without skipping a beat, weighing in at a highly manageable 7.2 pounds. The damage to your wallet is anywhere from $1,600 to almost $2,400 depending on your camo pattern, putting it firmly in the premium category. Out in the blind, this thing handles beautifully. Gripping the rubber over molding in freezing rain gives you absolute control when your hands are soaked. Pressing the lightning trigger, it snaps like a frozen twig right at 6.4 pounds. Taking the hit from a heavy load, the recoil feels like a slow, deliberate push against your shoulder rather than a violent mule kick, keeping your barrel perfectly flat. Mechanically, the brilliance here comes down to the power drive gas system. Browning engineered the gas piston with 20% longer travel compared to the competition, combined with massive, intelligent exhaust ports. Because the piston travels further, it spreads the physical recoil impulse over a longer duration of time. By flattening out that peak recoil force, it completely changes the physics of the felt impact, allowing you to stay on target for follow-up shots, even when running the heaviest waterfowl ammunition on the planet. I know the old-school guys will argue that you do not need extreme gas mitigation. Sound off in the comments below if you still trust a rigid pump gun with heavy loads in the modern era. Look, I have no real complaints about this Browning, but if you are on a tight budget, this one will definitely sting at the register. It is built exclusively for people who buy once and buy right. Stepping up the game to number 2, we have the undisputed king of inertia, the Benelli Super Black Eagle 3 with advanced impact technology. It runs on 12-gauge magnums and weighs an impossibly light 6.9 pounds. Street price is anywhere from $1,800 to an eye-watering $3,199 for the highest tier. This platform has earned its cultural reputation over decades in the worst conditions imaginable. It is the benchmark that every other waterfowl shotgun is judged against. Out in the freezing rain, the ergonomics feel perfectly sculpted to a heavily gloved hand. Squeezing the trigger, it breaks like a snapping icicle, crisp and totally predictable. When you take the recoil, it delivers a sharp, lightning-fast jab to the shoulder rather than a slow push, though the ComfortTech 3 stock does an incredible job of keeping your teeth from rattling out of your skull. Inside the barrel, Benelli rewrote the rules of fluid dynamics with their advanced impact system. The engineers opened the chamber up to roughly 0.775 inches, which is effectively a 10-gauge internal dimension, before sharply constricting it at the choke. This extreme Venturi effect aggressively compresses the gas pressure and accelerates the payload to a much higher velocity. Doing this completely changes the aerodynamics of the shot string in flight, allowing the trailing pellets to draft behind the leading pellets like race cars, delivering devastating kinetic energy at extreme distances. Honestly, my only gripe is the incredibly light weight. It is fantastic for carrying all day, but you have to actively muscle the gun to maintain a smooth swing on fast-crossing birds, which takes some practice. This legend absolutely earns its spot in the top tier, but wait until you see the relentless monster sitting at number 1. Sitting alone at the throne is number 1, the Beretta AX800 Suprema. This platform is a complete reinvention of what a waterfowl shotgun should be. It gives you the relentless mechanical reliability of number 4, but with a highly advanced gas system that puts the recoil mitigation of number 3 to shame, and it does it while establishing a brand new tier of premium performance. Eats 12-gauge 3.5-inch magnums for breakfast, weighing exactly 7.8 pounds. You are looking at roughly $2,500, making it a serious financial commitment. Stepping into the freezing mud, gripping this monolithic polymer frame feels like holding a futuristic tactical tool rather than a traditional hunting weapon. Squeezing the trigger, it breaks cleanly, like a high-tension wire snapping under extreme stress. Sending a heavy load downrange, the kick translates into a deep, rolling wave against your shoulder. That soft push happens because the Kickoff Pro system utilizes multi-stage hydraulic dampeners built directly into the stock to absorb 70% of the physical impact before it ever reaches your body. Mechanically, The absolute game changer here is the Stellium Pro barrel technology. Beretta brought their $10,000 competition barrel architecture into the swamp by extending the forcing cone to a massive 17.7 inches. That cone is the critical transition zone where the chamber slowly chokes down to the internal bore diameter. By stretching that zone out, the system prevents the steel pellets from violently crushing against each other upon ignition. Ultimately, this eliminates aerodynamic drag caused by deformed shot and delivers a perfectly uniform wall of destruction at 50 yards. My only gripe is the oversized slammer button. It is entirely too sensitive and can easily bite your thumb if you bump it against your gear while loading. But that is a handling quirk, not a mission killer. Setting that aside, the radical choice to cast the entire receiver out of polymer makes this the only shotgun on Earth completely immune to saltwater corrosion. The Suprema has officially taken the crown. The marsh does not care about marketing, and the ice does not care about brand loyalty. At the end of the day, it only matters what happens when you pull the trigger. If you want the raw truth without the fluff, lock it in right here. Keep your powder dry and your aim true.